and welcome to episode 25 of Into the Podcast. I am your host, Sam, and other host is here also. Say hello, other host.
Hello.
How are you, other host?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's your name again?
It's Ryan.
Oh, hello, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
We've not spent like every waking minute together this last week, which is weird.
No, we're living very separate lives. It's been sad, hasn't it?
It has a bit. I was like, I'm not going to see Ryan for a week now.
I know, yeah. Been mega busy as well.
Not even much. Well, mind you, we had one night game in.
Yeah, which I think that's the first time I've gamed for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah, it's just been crazy, hasn't it?
We had fun though.
Yeah, we did have fun. We had mixed success, played Call of Duty, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think I can't remember where we even finished. We
Yeah,
had a few top 10s,
had a couple of top 10s.
few terrible games.
Yeah, to be fair, I think you'd really enjoy playing at the moment because it's normally just either me, Kyle, me, Max, me, someone else, and all we're doing is going out there to find operators now. We're past this sneaking around bollocks.
Yeah,
it's just push, kill, which is what you're about. And every time I do it, I'm like, we need Ryan. we need him here to just fucking get excited about
like just chasing people and just shooting
eagles.
people. Yeah. Fucking love a Desert Eagle. Yeah.
So what's been going on then, baby?
Well, it's been Easter, hasn't it? Easter weekend. How was your Easter?
It was all right, I had the kiddo. So I had her and I had her little mate on Easter night, and then the little fuckers had me up on Bank Holiday Monday at just gone 5 o'clock. So I went back to work today.
Awful.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
I was tired when I left work for my week off, and I've gone back more tired.
Oh, that's the worst.
How was your Easter weekend?
It was lovely, really busy. As always, I'm always busy. Somehow. Just seeing family, really. Saw like Claire's side of the family, like Easter Sunday, saw my family, Bank Holiday Monday. Did manage to get a bit of wargaming in with the old friends.
The Fantasy Fellowship.
Yes, yeah, we're replaying Lord of the Rings story, but it's Fantasy Fellowship, so you have random, whoever you want is the different characters, so it's good fun. But it's, again, the first time we've met up to do that for months and months. We started this campaign, this Fantasy Fellowship, oh, God knows, last summer, maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
like we're all, it's difficult, isn't it, when there's a lot of people, everyone's living their own lives. When you're adults, it's really difficult to meet up and fitting everything else in. So that was nice to do that.
How many of you do that?
4 of us at the moment, yeah. So it's me, my dad, and then Kyle, our friend Kyle, and our friend Ed. So that's the core 4. But I know we still need to get. I know we said about getting you round to get into it, to play, because I know you'd be well up for it. Our friend Max as well. He likes Lord of the Rings. I think he'd be well up for that as well.
I think he would as well. Yeah,
it is good fun. It's just like like anything board game related.
Yeah.
It is good fun. It's just finding the time. We just don't have enough. There's just not enough hours in the day, and we're quite nerdy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So we have a lot of nerdy things, don't we? Like, obviously we do the podcast, but we want to do Magic the Gathering more often. Like, we want to play Xbox all the time, as well as finding time to get all our films and TV in, which are our core things. So we're trying to introduce new stuff as well. It's a massive juggling act, and that's probably one of the many reasons why we're always so busy.
And you're a very popular man. Everyone wants a slice of Ryan, don't they?
Well, I don't think it's so much that. It's just that if someone suggests something, I just can't say no. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm up for that. And I was like, oh, you free this weekend? Yeah. When I check my diary, I've already triple booked that weekend because I've already said yes to 3 other people. I just need to say no a little bit more, I think.
You won't know.
I won't. I said, because I'm now off this week, booked the rest of the week off, and I don't have a single free evening until I'm back at work in a week's time.
Yeah, because we very nearly didn't have an episode, did we? Because when I was like, oh, what day are you free? He was like, I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I've got this week off, and obviously, as you do, you're going to book it up, aren't you?
That's it, yeah.
Unlike me. So when this comes out, is your first day back at work.
Yep.
And it's my first day of annual leave for my birthday.
Yes.
And I have purposely booked fuck all.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, a friend of mine who I didn't realise was a Magic player said to me the other day, oh, you doing anything Tuesday the 18th? I said, I don't think so. It's a free day. He goes, oh, should we get together for a few games? Yeah, fuck it. Come round, beer. That's my only plan for a week.
Yeah,
we'll do this at some point. That's it. And I'm just going to sleep and fucking do nothing.
Nah, that sounds incredible. That was what I wanted this week to
It'll
be
never
for
be
me.
that, mate.
I've got a few days. Like today was a nice chill day. First day where I didn't have to set an alarm, which was lovely. I already feel better for it, but you know, it's nice to do other bits. But
Yeah, exactly. And especially with Easter, Easter is about family, isn't it? You know, it's, I think some people forget that Easter is technically a big deal. Because I know for us it's an Easter egg.
Yeah,
it's not, because it's the only other day of the year nothing's open.
That's it, yeah. I was talking to Claire's parents about this, Claire's mum, when we were around on Easter Sunday. It's like, well, actually, yeah, because we forget that like it's actually a major religious festival, whether you're religious or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's just should, in theory, just be as just a bigger deal as Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
We very much treat it like, oh, well, it's just chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Valentine's Day or one of these other Hallmark bullshit. But
yeah,
no,
exactly.
not.
But really, you get two bank holidays. It's a 4-day weekend. And we've always done stuff as a family, to be fair, on Easter weekends. We've always done like, whether it was just like the Easter egg hunts that you do or something, we'd always, like my parents would always make a big deal out of it, which is nice.
So for our Easter Sunday was our club. We do a spring barbecue every year where all the club members and their families, the kids come along. So that was really nice. We got together for that. The sun was out, but it was a little bit nippy. We bought loads of bonnets and bits of crafty bits for the kids and an egg for them all, and it was nice. So the idea was, it was our boy Jack Magic.
Yeah, nice.
The idea was, right, I'll cook off a load of snacky bits, but if you want a barbecue, I'm not standing at the barbecue all day. So if you want to bring your stuff, barbecue it yourself, have what you want. And you know what? Perfect.
Yeah.
But the one job he had to do was make sure he has a working barbecue. The motherfucker on Easter Sunday woke up to realise he had no gas in the bottle.
Oh, no.
So it all got ovened.
Right, okay.
I was like, oh, Jack. So you didn't want to stand at a barbecue all day. Now you're standing in front of an oven.
Yeah. Not quite the same, but still.
Yeah,
nice to get together, I imagine.
It was nice to get together. It was nice to have barbecue. Fucking burgers.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like was the 0% Pilsner I was drinking.
Oh, yeah, you were driving?
I was driving.
Yeah.
I had Little Un and I had a mate staying as well for a sleepover. So
of course.
I just couldn't have a beer. And I was really, really upset because everyone was just like knocking up fancy cocktails and shit. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I want it.
Yeah.
I want it. I want it back.
See, I've been the opposite this weekend. Because I've had some heavy weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, we had two heavy weekends together, didn't we? And then I was out on a work leaving do. So I had 3 like proper boozy weekends on the bounce. So this is the first weekend where I've not had a drink.
Oh, banging.
It was actually really nice. Like, I feel like my body was just like, oh, thank God for that. Like,
please stop, Ryan.
Please stop. Yeah.
Stop what you're doing.
So I think I've only had one little can all weekend. And I had that because Ed, my brother-in-law, gave it me because I thought it was a new one that I'd not had from my app. You know, I'm all about checking in new beers.
Yeah.
But I'd already had it. And I checked after I drank it. So that was a waste, wasn't it?
It was.
Never mind. Go on. More beers to find, I'm sure.
Well, this is it, mate. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 you haven't tried yet.
Yeah, I'm up to 533, I think.
Individual new beers.
Yeah, different beers that I've had.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Since 2020. So that doesn't include all the multiples that I've had. So, you know, you don't very often just buy one, do you? So, like, and the amount of times I'll just go back and like, how many times when we've been drinking, like, I'll just get a crate of brew dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beer when you think about it. It's a small fortune as well.
Yeah, when you think if each one of them beers you had was a 4-pack, that's 2,000 beers.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
In 3 years. And you think as well, each pack's probably about 5-6 quid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're talking
money.
Thousands of pounds. That's depressing. Let's move on. I need a beer.
Speaking of spending money, I was going to text you the other day and I was like, no, I'm going to wait for the podcast. It's a 1-answer question. It's not even that important. But we spoke the other day about Audible.
Yes.
And they are doing 3 months for 99p.
Oh, bargain.
Yeah. So I thought, that's 3 tokens, it's 3 audiobooks. And if I'm enjoying it, because I want to get a bit fitter, and even if it's just starting off by going for walks of an evening, now the weather's a bit nicer, an audiobook's perfect for that. Because all I do is listen to the same podcasts, listen to them all the way through, go back. So I thought, fuck it, audiobook. So there was one that you mentioned a couple of times. I was like, fuck, I really want to read that book. And I can't remember what it was. And I want it to be my first one. Some Roman type.
Oh, it was How to Think Like a Roman Emperor.
That's it. I'm going to write this down.
Yeah, the one that my tattoo artist told me about.
Yes.
Because he was getting into it. So it's primarily a philosophy book.
Yeah.
But it's part history because it talks about the life of Marcus Aurelius, who was a Roman emperor, mixed in with sort of modern psychology.
Okay.
So it's really interesting. It's almost like a kind of a self-help book mixed in with like philosophical elements. Yeah, it's just got a bit of everything. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Cool. I'm going to get that downloaded as soon as we finish then. Yeah, I couldn't remember what the fuck it was called. And as soon as I paid my 99p, I was looking on it like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's difficult. And as well, because I've been tempted to cancel my subscription because I've got loads of tokens just mounting up. But if you cancel your subscription, you lose all your credits. So I need to like pay off my credits before I think about cancelling it. But every book that I find recently to buy, it's already included now in like the subscription because they've got loads of like free stuff now that included with your subscription. So,
did you say the Tomorrow War was on there for free?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it's one of the free ones.
The one that Drew told us about.
Yes, the 60-second recommendation.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through that. I think now I've got a few hours of that left, so I need to finish that off. That's free. I've not had a look. I go through phases with it.
Yeah, I was umming and ahhing about doing all the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah.
Because I've never watched the TV show, you know. And obviously the books are going to be hella better. Yeah. So, fuck it. Instead of watching... I was having this conversation with our friend Jack Hudson the other day. He said, I've only just started it.
He has started it, yeah.
He said, I'm the only, I must be the only person on earth that hasn't seen it. I was like, no, me.
Yeah.
Like, we've taken lumps for not seeing Game of Thrones. But I think actually now's probably a good time to go, well, fuck it, I'll just do the books then.
Yeah. The only problem with I totally agree with that. I've never read the books. I started reading the first book after the first season came out because of like most people, I guess, hadn't really heard of Game of Thrones. And I started reading it. It was very similar to the show. And I was like, well, and I'm like, I get bored of stuff easily. So I put that down. The only thing I would say, I guess, with the books is the books that haven't finished.
Oh, have they not?
So the last 2 or 3 series of Game of Thrones isn't based on books. It's just like, that's why a lot of people say it went downhill, because the show runners had to like create their own storylines. Right. They had George R.R. Martin as a like advisor or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think he sort of laid out how he wanted it to end, but how they got there was up to the writers.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the only problem with the books is that you can listen to them all. You'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you'll be in the same position that all the massive Game of Thrones book fans are, like, write some more books and please finish this series. Because I think the last one came out years and years ago.
Oh God, yeah.
So he has been sitting on it for a long time. I think most people saying, because he's quite old as well, George R.R. Martin.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I think most people have just resigned themselves to the fact that it'll never get finished. He'll never finish this show.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah, or he's just like at the point now of like, well, I don't need to. I'm moving off the TV show money now.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
I hope not, because I mean, authors and stuff, you know, they write for a reason, and the reason is to tell a brilliant story.
Exactly.
So I don't see why he would, even if he's got all the money, why he'd want to just leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
I'll think about it.
The other ones I've got the first one recently, like the classic ones, Harry Potter, narrated by Stephen Fry.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, I love Stephen Fry, so. But I have read all those books before, so that's nothing new. But I know loads of people, they're like critically acclaimed, aren't they? Those audio books. So I don't know. There's loads of options.
Yeah, cool.
Lord of the Rings, narrated by Andy Serkis.
Okay, now we're talking.
Incredible.
All right,
he does all the voices as well, and he does like the proper Gollum voice for it. So it is quality. That's really good. He does The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books.
Interesting. All right, fuck it. I'm doing that instead of Game of Thrones then.
They're really good because he did the Hobbit one. He did this was during lockdown. He did a live reading of The Hobbit from start to finish in one day.
I remember, yeah.
It was for charity. And it was incredible. It was literally, I can remember it was like during the first lockdown when it was like the heat wave, so the weather was incredible. We just had it, we were sat outside in the sun, had it on like a laptop, and literally just had Andy Serkis just sat in his armchair reading us The Hobbit. And it was like, what a day. Like,
This is incredible. The best day ever.
And then everyone was like, please do like an official, like a proper recording of this. And then I think a year later he did. And then,
that's amazing.
And then like a year after that, he did all the Lord of the Rings ones as well. So
cool.
They're awesome.
Yeah, I'll go for them then. Yeah, definitely. The only other thing I've done this week was I took my little child to go see Super Mario Bros.
Oh, nice. Please, go on. Tell me.
It's great.
Is it?
It is really good fun. So it's quite weird. Like a lot of people I know has been to see it was very much like, oh, and you've not got to be a Mario fan to like enjoy it. You have.
Okay.
In a way of, I don't think you can get a human being that doesn't know what Super Mario is, that doesn't know what Super Mario Kart is, that doesn't know Donkey Kong is part of that universe, that doesn't know all these other Bowser, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Whether you play it or not, you know what it is. And it does rely on that because you all know it. So they don't really need to explain anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying this in a bad way because there's not a mass amount of story. The story is exactly what you get in the games is Bowser is destroying shit and wants to steal Princess Peach to marry her, and he don't want to. And like that's pretty much it. But a lot of the fun in it is obviously the callbacks to like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong being in it, Diddy Kong being in it, like, all these little cameos and shit. It's just really, really good fun. That's
cool. And that's exactly what you want from this sort of film, isn't it? Like a kids' film that adults can enjoy as well, because it's really the adults that have grown up with Mario.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, kids now, everyone's got a Switch. All kids have Switches, so they all play Mario Kart or whatever it is now. But the one thing that really was a head fuck for me is as I probably mentioned on the show, but I'm a massive Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, and Charlie Day narrates Luigi.
Right.
So I watch Always Sunny a few times a week, even if it's just a few episodes while I'm eating tea or while I'm laid in bed. So it's like the most disgusting TV show. Like how they get away with the shit they do is beyond me. So going from that to having him voice Luigi, it's just the weirdest fucking thing. I loved it. And obviously Jack Black's Bowser.
Yeah,
Chris Pratt, is Mario.
How is he as Mario? Because a lot of people were worried about him.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like, so it starts off with an advert for the Super Mario Brothers plumbing business.
Right, okay.
And, in it, he's got that whole, it's a me stuff.
Yeah.
And he's talking with this really thick Italian accent. And then when it goes to him in real life watching it, he just speaks his normal voice. And he's like, do you think the accent was too much?
Right.
And I thought that was quite cool.
Okay, way of getting out of that.
Yeah, they're not banging out this shitty accent the whole way through it.
Yeah, okay. That probably works quite better because it's very much over a stereotype, isn't it?
Massively, yeah. And it was just one line. Just do you think it was too much, and it worked quite well. But no, I loved it, and we went to go see it at a cinema called Kinema in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't know what it is, it comes highly recommended from myself. It is this gorgeous little old school cinema in the middle of the woods in a place called Woodall Spa. It's cheap as sin, so it's £6 a ticket.
Bloody hell, that is cheap.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not your IMAXs. It's a smallish screen. It's a little family-run business. It's like sort of church pew type seating.
Yeah.
But loads of leg room. It all looks cool as fuck because it is old-fashioned. It's still, I can't remember what year it was, 20s maybe, I can't remember what year it was built, but it's still all the same thing. You go in and they've made it quite fun with like, it's all cabinets with Lego and film memorabilia and bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is, so you pay your money, you go in, and awesome little coffee machine there as well. Not this Costa bollocks.
Oh no,
just homegrown beans, mate. Beautiful, nice and lovely.
Beautiful.
But so you go in, you get your cinema, you get your film, and halfway through you have an ice cream interval where. So a little interval, everyone can go out, stretch their legs, kids can go for a piss or whatever, go get some more popcorn or an ice cream or whatever. And from the ground, this little thing comes up, this little podium with an old school organ.
Oh, yeah, I remember saying.
And this dude just plays old fucking music on this organ. And he proper gets into it. It's like, and he plays for about 10 minutes and then he just goes underground again and the film comes back on.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it's honestly like, again, if you just want to go watch a cute film, a date night, something new, I would say, even if it's fucking hour's drive, give Kinema in the Woods a chance.
It's an experience, isn't it?
It's an experience. It's just beautiful. It's lovely. The organ player doesn't always come out, so the first time I went, he didn't.
Right.
But if you get like the big film,
okay.
He does. It's just a lovely experience. It's really cozy as well. So if you're going on date night or something like that, an hour's drive, I think is well worth it. I mean, it's 40 minutes for me.
Right.
And I wouldn't think twice about going there over the Odeon up the road.
Yeah.
In fact, I would go there every time over the Odeon.
Yeah.
It costs the same, with ticket prices and petrol, but it's
the experience, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's the feel of it.
So everyone, highly recommended. Kinema in the Woods. Do give them a chance. They also do a lot of like outdoorsy type cinemas. Across the road's this place called Jubilee Park.
Right.
They've got a big outdoor swimming pool there, and they do midnight swims with Jaws on a big screen in the background, so you can go swimming at midnight, and there's Jaws on the big screen, and they always do like Back to the Future and shit.
Yeah, okay.
It's so cool.
That is cool. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's pretty much it for the intro. I just wanted to put it out there to, again, like most weeks, please like and share. Share with your friends, share with your family, put it out there. Get in touch with us. Tell us what you want to hear. We've got so many ideas, but I don't know. We're getting a lot of messages recently, aren't we? Of ideas of things to do, but people being like, "Oh, I really enjoy it when you guys just chat shit." You've had some of the best episodes. Yeah, tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you want us to talk about or to watch. Like, we're obviously doing this for you guys, and it saves us a job having to think something up.
Absolutely, yeah. Because we don't want it to be the same every week, do we? We like to mix it up. Don't get me wrong. There's especially recently when we've been super busy, we haven't had a chance to really plan ahead. So it's very much like, let's just chat what we've been doing,
and people are loving it.
And they end up being like the longest episodes as well, like 2 hours long. It's like, oh, what? We had nothing planned.
I know, but these are the ones that people are getting back to us. And you know what? If that's what you want to hear, that's what you want the podcast to be.
And what's still really nice is that people are taking away the recommendations that we're putting out there, not just from us, but obviously like 60-second recommendations. And it's really nice. It is really rewarding. Was that the right word?
I think it's quite rewarding.
It's quite nice. It's just nice when someone messages you or speaks to you like, oh, watch this that you said about, and you can have that chat, because that's one of the main reasons we're doing it, really, isn't it? It's to share all the things that we love or come across or experience. So it's nice.
Oh, definitely. And what I love is when we get people come to us with films that we spoke about on episode 2, 3.
Yeah.
So Megan come to us today and was like, I watched, what's it fucking called? The
platform. The platform, yes.
Yeah, the platform.
Yeah, that was like episode 2, was it?
Yeah, and I was like,
episode 2,
my
the horror
God,
one, yeah.
Fucking madness. I love when people sort of come and be like, oh, yeah. I remember you talking about it, so I banged it on.
Yeah, definitely.
And then on top of that, I got recommendations for loads of different rums. When I mentioned that I asked for rums for my birthday.
Oh, nice,
so the podcast page got sent all these different rums and tried these, which was so cool.
That's cool.
It's just bad because I tried most of them and I was like, oh, shit. He's like, oh, these are really quirky. And now I was like, oh, fuck, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Do you want to get straight in with a little snicky, snacky, snoo, mate?
Oh, really? Bloody doo-doo.
Sing us in, Drew.
Here come Sam and Ryan, listen to them both speak. They've come 2 hours on with their pop culture critique. But are you even a nerd if you don't overread? So come on everybody, it's the snack of the week.
Yes, Ryan, getting involved with the So, a little snicky, snacky, snoo.
Oh, yeah.
If you could have anything right now, what would it be? Any snack. You tell me what you would like. I'll see if I got anywhere close.
A falafel.
Nowhere near.
I don't even want a falafel. It's just the first thing that came to my head.
These are either going to be ace or so grim.
Oh, God. Oh, right, okay.
These are Hacienda boxed nachos.
You know what? Oh yeah, I think they're going to be.
Each.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That was like a magician's trick. He pulled the second one out of nowhere.
I just now the only reason I say this could be bad is because the expiration. Bearing in mind this has a pot of cheese in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
The expiration date is a year down the line.
Right. Okay.
So
a pot of cheese.
a pot of cheese with a year's life on it.
I mean, it just kind of looks like the nachos you would get at the cinema.
Well, that's what I
and
thought.
like the cheese dip that goes with it.
Yeah. When I saw it, I just thought, that cheese dip looks a bit pink. It looks a bit weird.
Oh no!
Oh,
Don't
dear.
say that.
But and also I didn't.
It does look very.
It does
pink.
look a bit pink.
What's? It's like burger sauce, isn't it?
It does
What's
a
that
bit.
like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I got us one each is because I like to double dip, and you can't double dip in someone else's pot of cheese, can you?
No,
and
it's
if
a bit
it was
rude.
good,
bad manners. That.
yeah.
Innit?
And if it was good, I didn't want to. You know what I mean? At least we got one each then.
Yeah, that's it. If it's terrible though,
They just go in the bin.
yeah. Or have you smelt the cheese?
Does it smell of feet?
It's very feety.
Oh yeah.
Not horrendous.
Not horrendous.
Not horrendous.
That's not as strong as I thought.
That's what. Oh, you've done it properly.
Yeah, I've done it properly. You rip the top off and pour it in.
Oh, I've just destroyed the box.
You're a fucking animal,
I
Ryan.
have to rip the bag open.
Hacienda chip and dip.
They look quite. You know what? I think these are going to be great.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they are. Right, let's
go for a
get
big old
in.
dip. To start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here
This
we
might
go.
be the greatest snack we've ever
I
done.
know, yeah.
Fucking
Ready?
love dip. Yeah. Cheers.
Chin chin, mate. I'm not sure about our dip. Yeah, no, that dip is disgusting.
I don't mind it actually.
Really?
I
Not a
don't
fan.
mind it. I have to go for a second just to.
Yeah, I'm out on the dip.
I mean,
But-
if you look at the dip, it looks disgusting.
Yeah.
It's quite chunky.
Not a fan of the dip, but you know what? They're just standard fucking Doritos.
Well, I had a lot of dip that time.
Yeah, I got a lot on my first one. It's a bit. I can't figure out whether it's sour or sweet.
Tangy. It's very tangy.
Yeah, what is it?
I mean, no, that's all right. You know.
Yeah, not horrendous.
The nachos, pretty decent, pretty
Yeah.
standard.
Now they did do a salsa pot as well,
Right.
which would have been perfect. But
Yeah.
I just thought I want to try the cheese because I don't know how a year life cheese tastes, and now we know.
This is very much what I'd expect at a cinema.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Nachos in exactly this sort of dip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is what I'd expect.
And
You know
they'll
what?
probably cost you £7.
Oh yeah, and the
Sorry,
rest. Yeah. I'm going to keep dipping.
Are you enjoying that, mate?
I'm enjoying it. You know, I love a snack.
Oh, I know you do.
I know
Yeah.
the listeners aren't going to like this though. That's a lot of nachos I've got to get through.
Damn it! I shouldn't have bought 2 boxes. We're also enjoying, boys and girls. I found these in the same shop. Tango Paradise Punch. New flavour to me.
Yeah, I've never had one before. It's very tasty.
Yeah, because I went mad for the Tango Berry Peachy. I used to buy them all the time, and I saw the new one, mate. Thought, if we're going to be having sweaty cheese stuff, may as well have some Paradise Punch with it.
My mouth is filled with sweaty cheese right now. Bloody lovely.
Yum, yum.
Mmm.
You really are going to town on that as well.
I won't lie. I'm going to eat every single one.
You're having a really good time. This is what I like to see.
And I'm going to eat your box as well.
Oh, that's fine. Ryan has such a nice smile on his face right now. This is why we do Snack of the Week. Just to make Ryan a happy, happy boy.
Yeah, we're always very hit and miss with the snacks.
Yeah. And we've kind of gone back to the weird random shit as well.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Went through a period of just treating ourselves, didn't we?
We'll get back there.
Yeah.
We will.
Eventually we'll build up to the gummy bear.
I know. The gummy bear of doom. Yeah. Yeah. But just down the line. I've not had a message from Danny Golding yet telling me we need to fucking man up and just do it.
Oh, God.
But I'm sure we'll get there. So, Snack of the Week out the way. There's no point waiting for Ryan to finish his crisp because this is us now for the next 20 minutes. So we'll just crack straight on. And should we go in with the Eliminator?
Yeah, give me more time to eat.
Oh, yeah. This is a good point. Yeah.
Sorry, I just spat cheese all over the pop shield. I had to lick it off, sorry.
What was you saying, mate? You got a little bit excited there.
We'll just play the Eliminator music on repeat for a bit whilst I get these nachos down, yeah?
Well, the original track of that is 3 minutes fucking 20 or something, so just put the full track on.
Perfect.
Yeah, fuck it. Well, here's 19 minutes of the Eliminator.
There can be only one.
It is time for the Eliminator. Oh no. Something bad's just happened, Ryan.
What?
Whilst that was playing and you was enjoying your crisps in the background, all I could hear was crunch, crunch, crunch. I thought I'd just check my phone, see if I had any messages, and I was tagged in something on Facebook.
Oh no.
So, you know when I introduced you to Magic the Gathering, you thought, shit, there goes all my money.
Yeah.
And then they brought out Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering, and you thought, shit, there goes all my money.
Yeah.
They're bringing out a fucking Gears of War card game.
Oh my God.
Gears of War card game. That's it.
Yeah.
Remortgage. Sorry, Claire.
Already had to remortgage once because of the Lord of the Rings.
It literally just looks like Magic the Gathering. They got, oh my God. Order now. Fucking hell. Anyway, the Eliminator. Should we do the Eliminator?
Was that what we're doing?
I think so,
eating nachos. I'm not even paying attention
You're eating
anymore.
nachos. I'm looking at my phone. This episode's gone to shit, mate.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit sick as well, actually. I've eaten so much of that cheese.
It's not good.
Right, I'm putting it away. This is my last one. Last one.
Here we go. Everybody, enjoy Ryan masticate.
Couldn't keep a straight face.
Hold on one sec. Right. 31 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to find 31 minutes, 40 seconds. I'm going to find that sound of you masticating. I'm going to duplicate it and just play it for 20 minutes at the end of this episode. 31 minutes. I've written it in the book. 31 minutes, 40 seconds. And then anyone that is into ASMR and enjoys Ryan's mastication, you can enjoy it at the end of this episode.
Oh, no one enjoys that. This is awful.
I know. Oh well, never mind, eh?
Yeah. The Eliminator.
The Eliminator. This is disgusting. I don't want to do this one.
I don't want to do any more of them. It's too hard. And I feel like no matter what we pick now, we get backlash.
I know.
We're pissing someone off now. Because it's getting into like serious territory.
Oh, big time. This is serious territory. So I'm just gonna. Oh my God! It has the fucking tables are turned again, mate.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking last minute.
Oh my days.
So let me just write down. Don't look at my paper, my friend.
I'm not. I was getting a nacho.
Oh shit! Hold on. I forgot. There's a couple in WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, we put out the. We forgot to put the Eliminator out, didn't we? So
I banged it out last minute. Just messaged everyone saying,
please vote. So, but you were saying we've had more votes on this one than maybe any of the others.
We really have, yeah.
We've had loads and loads of votes
because we went out and asked people to do it for us. So, right, listeners' votes are in. We have Thor Ragnarok, versus Avengers Endgame. Disgusting, isn't it?
It is disgusting.
It's not good.
Do you know where you're going? Coming into this, do you know what you're going to go for?
So I sort of mentioned, we mentioned this last time, but I spoke to you about this just before you come round and we said we was doing this. Instead of thinking about it and going with my heart, I'm literally going with the first answer that comes in my head because I changed so much.
Right, okay, yeah.
I clearly went for that in my head the first time because that is what I think.
Yeah, okay.
And then I start talking myself out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going with gut instinct.
Gut instinct. That's what I'm going to do.
Brain telling me?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Just quick fire. This is what I'm picking. And I'm sticking with that. Yeah, I'm doing the same with these because it's too hard. You can analyze it and overanalyze each one and the meaning behind it and the weight behind them and it becomes a nightmare.
I know. So I think what we do is, because obviously we've gone through every film now, spoke about what they're about, what we love about them. Should we, from now on, sort of talk pros and cons?
Yeah, okay.
Like, is there a sort of thing that might lose it points in the later sort of rounds and things?
Okay, that's interesting. Bit of a different take.
Yeah, exactly. I just think this way, there's no point talking about the film again. We've done it.
Yeah.
We will.
Everyone knows about it as well.
Of course. And we will go over the stuff that we love, but I think we delve deep into it, is there anything about the film that you don't like that you might lose points on, or things that you just love that will just beat everything else?
Okay. I'll let you start then.
You let me start. So I suppose it's kind of a hard one because last week, obviously, the Avengers were beat by Guardians of the Galaxy. And the big thing we spoke about there was how Guardians of the Galaxy stood on its own 2 feet against the Avengers, which the Avengers are brilliant. This is kind of the same thing, isn't it? It's a Thor film, although it's a later Thor film. It's the third Thor film. It's one character versus an ensemble cast.
Yeah,
obviously.
The ultimate ensemble cast as well. With Endgame, with everyone in
with
it.
Thor in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The way you look at it, would you lose points? Depending on how you're voting, would that lose points because it's such an ensemble cast against such an amazing one character film? I mean,
it's weird because some people will argue that's the reason why it's a better film, and other people will argue because it's got absolutely every character in it, and other people will argue, well, it's not fair. This film's a better film because it's just as good in so many ways, and it's only one character. So it's literally on your perspective.
Absolutely, and Thor Ragnarok does give birth to some of the greatest characters in Marvel at the moment, like Korg.
Everyone fucking loves Korg. Everyone goes mental for Korg.
You know, so we've now got characters that are entering Avengers. So Korg's in it. What's Tessa Thompson's character's in it?
Valkyrie,
she's in Endgame.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
At the end, so she comes along. So it's a fucking hard one for me. Both films, having rewatched Endgame recently, there isn't anything about these films that I would lose points over.
No.
If I'm honest with you,
no.
To me, it's all positive.
Yeah.
It's down to what you're feeling in that moment. Because again, Thor Ragnarok is all laughs, start to finish. It is fun.
It is. The tone of Endgame is totally different.
It's so sad.
It's dark, isn't it? It starts off its opening sequence with Hawkeye losing his family. You're like, fuck, this is different. The tone's totally different. And then it's very much a trip down memory lane. It's going to all the, because they do the time travel and the nostalgia. And then obviously culminating with Iron Man at the end. So it's very much a heavy film. It's an emotionally heavy film.
Yeah.
Which one of the reasons why it makes it brilliant.
Absolutely.
But its tone, the two different tones.
Definitely. I think a major plus for me for Endgame, definitely, the acting is second to none. Robert Downey Jr. especially. That opening scene, well, not the opening scene, but where he comes down from space.
It always gets you, doesn't it?
It gets me every time. It's like, that is fucking top tier acting, my friend.
Yeah.
It don't rely on anything but pure passion.
Yeah. And it's got 10 years of worth of weight behind it from Iron Man 1 and Captain America and all their characters' interactions. Yeah, it's incredible film. And I personally, I have a massive thing for Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye.
He is great. And in this, we get fucking Mohawk Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
As Ronin.
Yeah.
Ronin. Who's just cool as. I wish we saw more of him, but yeah, it's cool to have him with his mohawk and his tattooed sleeve. It's just cool. Because obviously him and Ant-Man weren't in Infinity War, so it's great to have them back in as well.
Yeah.
And like the core group back. It's an incredible film.
I think what you're saying now about Hawkeye, when it was announced Hawkeye was going to become the show, I think that's what people's crying out for.
Yeah.
Please give us a dark Netflix style show, like The Punisher, Daredevil, of him as Ronin.
Yeah.
What he went through in them years during the snap.
That'd be an insane show.
That'd be and that has to be a show, not a fucking film.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be. We've got to have a 8-episode character arc over
that'd be so cool.
What happened to that man?
I never even thought about that. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It would be badass, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? What sort of pros and cons for you? It's so hard, isn't
it?
Is a con for you for Endgame the fact that Ragnarok is one of your favourite films?
Maybe. No. Like you said, they're both incredible films. This is Marvel at its peak in both of these films, I'm struggling for cons. But any part of me would say, oh, does Endgame have cons because it's just a nostalgia trip, so it's just them visiting all the other places. But then equally, I'm like, but that's one of the reasons what makes it great, because it revisits all loads of major events where they get the stones, brings in some really cool random cameos, like Frank Grillo back when they replay that. How cool is that when they replay the elevator scene from Winter Soldier, and he just, instead of having the big fight, he just turns and goes, "Hail Hydra," and walks off, and they're all like, nice one. Captain's on our side. And it's like, that's
nice one, Cap.
That's quality. Just stuff like that. It's such a fun twist. So I wouldn't say it was a con. I'm struggling for cons for any.
Do you want to vote?
I think we just got to vote. I think we just got to go for it.
It's really hard. Like, I wasn't expecting the same as last week. I wasn't expecting to come into this and be quite speechless.
Yeah.
Which I am, which isn't great for audio. An audio podcast.
No,
being like, I don't know what to say because they're both so great. But
yeah, if you saw our faces, you can see the grimaces.
it is literally grimace, isn't it?
The torment across our faces.
And I've had messages from people, obviously, because I'm put out there, shit, I've got to do the Eliminator. We've got like a couple of hours max. Can you put your votes in? People messaging me going, I don't know if I can, because I don't know what the answer is. And I was like, tell me about it, but we have to do it, so you have to do it.
I'm really struggling. Even I was just going to go for gut feeling. I'm going to go for gut feeling. I'm just going to vote. I'm doing it. I'm just going to ripping the plaster off.
Go for it.
No more thought than my gut feeling. I'm going for it. I'm voting Thor Ragnarok.
Okay. Do you want to talk me through your vote?
Okay, so I love both of these films, but Thor Ragnarok's the one. It's almost my go-to one. I'll stick it on. If I'm feeling a bit down, it's fun. If I'm looking to have a laugh, I'll stick it on. I've watched this one probably more than any other for so many good reasons. Yeah. Endgame is incredible. And I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just going on my personal preference. If I'm going to stick one on, I'm sticking on Thor Ragnarok, and that's why I'm picking it.
Okay, cool. I shall vote.
Go on.
For Endgame.
Okay.
I'm going Endgame. Personally, for me, you're right. You know, Ragnarok, possibly the best standalone film out there.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It is incredible. I love it. But for me, Endgame just appeals more to what I look for in that type of film. Although, yes, you can go for Ragnarok no matter how you're feeling. You want to feel better, you put it on. If you're already high, you will get higher watching it. For me, this Endgame just gives you all of that. Yes, it's a trip down memory lane. It gives you all the sad moments. If I need to have a cry, I'll just bang this on and it will get it out for me. I love you 3000.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like I said, I could do this again in 5 minutes' time and I'd vote Endgame.
Oh,
I've got no problem with either of these two winning.
No, definitely not. And I just think, it's kind of, as you said, it's kind of like the end. Although it's not. Yeah. It's kind of the end of what we've built up to. And I know, obviously, we said we're going to try avoid the build-up, but as the film, it ended everything kind of perfectly. Yeah. People's character arcs were put to bed nicely. It hit every emotion that I could possibly feel. One
of the best cinema experiences I've ever had as well with Endgame. The audience, it was packed when I first went to see it. I went to see it in IMAX, and IMAX screens are huge, and every seat was taken up. And when Captain America picks up the hammer, the gasp in the like, it was sensational. When I went to see it, when Spider-Man flipped through the ring,
people cheered.
People were out of their seats cheering. I'm like, what is this? But you can't help but get caught up in the moment.
And I think it says something about a film that was your cinema experience with probably a few hundred people.
Yeah.
That was the exact same experience I had in a different cinema with a different few hundred people.
Exactly.
Probably everybody that went to go see it in that experience, the gasp, the cheering.
Exactly.
And you know what? It was massive laughter during Ragnarok. And it's hard because actually I've kind of gone against what I've said with the whole we're looking at the film. Don't get me wrong. I still think this film is one of the best fucking Marvel films out there, but it does rely heavily on the fact that it's wrapping things up for you.
Yeah.
In a way, and Tony's death and all stuff like
it's,
that.
It's a sensational film. Maybe one of the greatest films of all time, Endgame. And yeah. Like I said, I could vote Endgame now. Like I could happily switch, but I went with gut instinct. I went with Thor Ragnarok. I think it's almost poetic that it comes down to the audience vote. I think that's the best way of doing it.
It does. Now, my friend, I just need to go to the votes, see all votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're kind of in a bit of a pickle here, mate. Because when I noticed the votes,
yeah,
I noticed that Endgame took a massive hit at one point. And I noticed that 5 votes were done by accounts that I think are run by the same person.
Okay.
So they're all different accounts.
Yeah.
What are we saying about that?
Ooh.
I can't guarantee 1 or 2 might not be, but I know...
Will that change it one way or the other?
It will, yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. I think if you know that they're definitely the same account, then I think we discredit them then.
We discredit them. Okay. Now, that was our boy Chunk. Obviously, he's got his page, his art page, his tattoo studio page, the podcast page.
Okay, yeah.
I asked for votes, and bless him, he turned up.
Yeah.
He turned up and he voted. But that means 5 of them votes for him
are the same,
which means Thor Ragnarok has won.
Really?
So the end total was 15-11 to Endgame, minus 4 of them. Oh, fucking, that makes it 11-11.
What? I'm confused.
So it's 15-11 now.
Yeah.
5 of them was by Chunk. So get rid of 4.
To Endgame.
Yeah. So get rid of 4 of them and just leave Chunk's vote. That makes that 11-11. We're at a tie.
Fuck's sake.
Shit, I should have brought it up because we don't know what we do here.
Oh, God. So Chunk voted 5 times for Endgame.
Chunk voted 5 times for Endgame. Because he used, bless him, to get us the votes, because I was like, we need the votes.
Because obviously we put it out so last minute.
last minute, he voted on all of his accounts.
I'm going to eat a nacho while we ponder this quandary.
I really don't know what to do about this. And you know what? This is the film that deserves this to happen to.
Yeah.
Let Ryan masticate while he thinks about this.
Just eat another one last, I think. That's how I think when I eat.
Is it?
No. I just like to eat. Well, we've only put it out just. Do we do
Wait
the rest of the episode
and see if another vote comes in?
And we'll come back to it right at the end.
All right.
Because all we need is one more vote.
One more vote.
To sway it either way. Because the post is still up. Don't message anyone. Don't message anyone.
I was just about to message one of my groups saying those that haven't voted vote now.
Oh, if it's a group one. Then,
yeah. Then, not individual people.
Yeah, rather than individual people, because we might know what individuals might go for. So to keep it fair.
Cool. I'll send this message then. We are recording now. Votes are tied. If you haven't voted, please do now. Boys, as we don't know what to do.
Yeah. Other than eat nachos.
Right. Oh, mate. I'm glad this happened on this one.
Yeah.
In a way, I didn't want it to. And I have to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thought that made Ragnarok 1, but then I was like, no, I've just discounted all of Chunk's votes there, where he gets at least 1.
Oh, yeah, he definitely gets 1.
So, fucking hell. All right, cool. So we're gonna come back to this. What we in? We're about 50 minutes in. We've got quite a big thing to talk about next. So we'll come back to it at the end. We see who wins. Bish, bash, fucking bosh, my friend.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So that was the Eliminator, and the winner is going to be announced shortly.
Yeah. To keep you in suspense.
Exactly.
And us.
So we, again, we've kind of been just winging these episodes, haven't we? Because people be enjoying just us chatting nonsense, and we know that we can do it without fear. But I messaged you the other day and asked you if you'd seen a film. you said you had that and you didn't enjoy it, which fucking blew my mind. And from that, we came up with this topic. So
massive topic.
Massive topic. So I recently watched Last Night in Soho, which is the Edgar Wright 2021 film. Was it 21 or 22?
2000, I want to say 21. I think about 21.
So a couple of years old. His most latest film. I had no idea it was an Edgar Wright film. It just popped up on my Sky and I was like, oh shit, Edgar Wright, let's bang it on.
Yep.
And because of this conversation, we decided to talk Edgar Wright because we're both massive Edgar Wright fans.
Yes.
We've spoke about him so many times on this show. You've had him have you had him retweet you before or answer your tweet?
Yeah, he's replied to me a couple of times on Twitter.
Yeah, so you're big friends.
Oh yeah, we go way back.
Yeah, oh god, big time. So
I played one of the zombies in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I know, I've seen you.
Yeah.
That's just you in the morning when you wake up. So do you want to start by talking about Last Night in Soho then?
Yeah, so I didn't see this I wanted to see it in the cinema when it first came out, but I didn't get a chance. So I saw it for the first time back end of last year, I want to say. It's quite a different film for him. So for those that you don't know, Last Night in Soho, it's almost like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
It follows a fashion student who moves to London, rents a house, and then she starts getting like these visions of like the past and this girl in the past when she sleeps, and she's sort of haunted by that, and it sort of plagues her waking, it overspills from her dreams into her waking life, and she feels like, she's losing her sanity, what's going on. It's all like this. There's something happened in the past, like murder or something happened to this girl who ended up being like used and abused. I'm not going to give spoilers away because it's still quite a recent film, and I don't think many people have seen it. And that's it, yeah. Her trying to uncover this mystery of something that happened back in like the 60s, wasn't it?
So it's mainly set in the 60s. So the main character, the model is. Thomasin
McKenzie, isn't it?
McKenzie, that's it.
Yeah.
She's massive into the 60s. Her mum, who died, you find that out very early on.
Yeah.
Her mum died when she was younger. Left her loads of records, real 60s vibes. So she's a 60s girl. She grows listening to Cilla Black and all this type of music. And
yes.
Her fashion sense is very 60s. She goes to London to this design school where everyone finds her a bit weird and a bit quirky and they don't really get her. And all of the flashbacks are about this young girl played by Anna Taylor-Joy in the 60s.
Yeah.
She becomes obsessed with her dreams. So she doesn't want to associate with anyone. She moves out of her dorm because it's too hustle bustle for her.
It's too studenty in a way. She's very much like an extra, an introvert. Sorry.
Yeah, and all she wants to do is go back and sleep so she can dream about this Anna Taylor-Joy who she kind of is in a dream. So every time Anna Taylor-Joy looks in a mirror, it's Thomasin McKenzie looking back.
Yeah.
Really, so for me, I really enjoyed this film. This has everything that Edgar Wright offers in an Edgar Wright style, but in a completely different genre of what we expect from it.
Very different genre.
So obviously it's horror thriller, but it's still got the music, the style.
Oh, yeah.
People moving to the beats of the music. Very Edgar Wright in that. Like, if I watched that film, I would have, without knowing that, I would have been like, oh, this is very Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
So now the reason I put it on was before watching it, I was expecting to have this conversation about this film before I even spoke to you about it and talk about how much I dislike Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind him in this film.
Really?
Right. I don't like Matt Smith at all as an actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that good. Granted, don't come at me. I didn't watch him as the Doctor. I heard he did a good job as the Doctor.
Yeah, same. I watched it.
He had big shoes to fill with David Tennant.
Oh, absolutely.
Big shoes to fill. But all the films I've seen him in, he's just not been that good and kind of annoying.
Yeah, I've not seen him in a lot of stuff.
I mean,
I saw him in Morbius and I hated him in Morbius.
He was in a horror film called This House or His House or something.
I remember you saying about that, yeah. The only thing I've watched Matt Smith in that I enjoyed him as a character was House of the Dragon, which everyone went insane, like mad for. His character in that, Daemon Targaryen.
I don't watch
everyone,
it, so.
everyone went mental for it. he just comes across as a very arrogant prick to me in real life.
Yes.
And in every character he plays.
Exactly. And weirdly enough, that is 100% how I feel. And in this film, he plays what I expect him to be like in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what? He played into my dislike to him. Because I was like, I don't know, you come across as a bit of a dick to me. And in this film, he's just a dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Fez, what you've done is be what I expect you to be.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
I say this, he might be a really nice player.
Oh, yeah,
No,
I don't know. Like I said, I've never met him. I'm literally going, I have seen a few interviews with him, like, because, like, most people I not became obsessed with, but I was saying, I loved his character as Damon in House of the Dragon, so I watched a couple of interviews and, like, behind the scenes stuff, and afterwards I was like, yeah, you're an arrogant prick.
Yeah.
That's how you come across. Granted, I've never met the bloke. I could be totally wrong, but that's just the vibes I get from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am not a Matt Smith fan.
Yeah, and so I was expecting to be like another film he's shit in.
Yeah.
And again, I've not seen House of Dragons, so don't come at me, or Doctor Who. But I enjoyed him in this, so I can't come to you with that. Now, when I asked you if you've seen this film, I was expecting you to be like, Edgar Wright, love it.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
No, I didn't.
So talk me through this.
I'm one of the biggest Edgar Wright fans going.
Big time.
And I went into this film expecting to love it. I almost went on with blinkers. Like, it's Edgar Wright, it's quality.
Yeah,
and then all the things there's some things that were going on. I was like, yeah, okay. Like, this isn't great, but it's Edgar Wright. We'll power through. We'll power through. And like you said, it's got the things. It's quite a cool film. Like the 60s is really cool era. Like the music's cool. Like the London. Again, Edgar Wright's what he's great at doing is capturing sort of Britishness, like the student dorms, the pubs, like the pulling the pints, little things like that are very very innate British things. And he manages to capture that. And there was, story-wise, it was okay. Quite a nice twist at the end. I just hated every single character.
Really?
I didn't. Thomasin McKenzie, I could not stand her. Her voice, everything, just irritated the fucking life out of me.
Oh, I thought she was adorable.
That's what I mean. She was like, this like meek little thing, but like she just irritated me.
Yeah,
and I was like, her accent seems very weird. And then I Googled it and she's like, from New Zealand or something. So she's not actually English. And I was like,
in her accent supposed to be like Cornish or something like that.
And I was like,
isn't
it just grated on me. It really grated on me. And then I don't really like Matt Smith, as we said, and Anya Taylor-Joy, I can take or leave. Some roles I've seen her in, I quite like her. Other roles I've just like, you really do my head in. So I can take or leave her.
So not the cast for you at all, really.
So straight away, I think that's the thing that put me off. It's not the story, it's not the direction. I just didn't like a single character. I wasn't rooting for anyone. I was very much like, I hope you all die and quickly because I'm bored. And it's a shame because, like I said, I love Edgar Wright. But I was just being honest with myself. It's like, I'm not going to lie and be like, oh yeah, it's Edgar Wright, I love it. Oh, it's really good. Or not my own favourites, but it's okay. I just didn't like it. I'm not saying it's a horrendous film. Just didn't do it for me at all.
Interesting. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
For me, big time, obviously, the Edgar Wrightisms. What you just said there was perfect, how he encapsulates that British student vibe type, just the pubs and the people. I mean, the creepy old bloke that keeps speaking to her, who's like, I was a bit of a ladies' man. Yeah. He encapsulates that really well. The music, again, is perfect. I think he styled it really well for the split between modern London and 60s London. Storyline, I enjoyed the storyline. It was a typical thriller horror type thing. I really liked the idea of the ghosts being faceless in it. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about what they are, but the ghosts being faceless I thought was done really well.
Yeah.
I do kind of see where you're coming from with the characters to a certain extent. So Matt Smith got a pass for me because he played what I think he is.
Yeah.
I quite like Anya Taylor-Joy anyway.
She wasn't bad. I didn't actually mind her in this. She was okay. She was probably the character I took a shine to the most.
Yeah. I can see why you have that with Thomasin McKenzie. I quite enjoyed the character. I don't know. For me, it was kind of like, I think she was cast quite well in this to be this ridiculously introvert, timid.
Yeah.
And that was her through.
She plays that really well.
Couldn't stand the bloke that's interested in her, though.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what. Yeah,
he wasn't a very good actor in my eyes.
No, like That's what I mean. I think that's what let this film down. It's just there was no pull for me character-wise. There was no one that I was just like, oh yeah, I'm rooting for you, or I want you to win, or whatever. So yeah, bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I did quite enjoy that. I can't remember what I was going to say then. Yeah, I don't know. Just that one character for me that didn't quite do it. Again, the horror thriller vibe for me, I did enjoy. I love that.
Yeah, but
that's
definitely your vibe. And I don't know.
100%.
It's kudos off to Edgar Wright for not pigeonholing himself and trying something different.
Would you? So your views on it? This is quite interesting. Would you recommend people to go out and watch it?
No.
Would you not?
If it comes on Netflix, I'd be like, give it a watch.
Oh,
yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah, I would never say, if I'd seen it in the cinema, I wouldn't say, oh, go see it. Don't pay to see it, or don't buy it on DVD or anything. But if it pops on the telly, then yeah, definitely give it a watch. Yeah. In that sense, yeah, I would.
It's on Sky or Now TV.
Yeah.
So if you have it, give it a watch and let us think. Because like me and Ryan are quite contrast on this.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't. It was just a bit meh.
Don't get me wrong, it was nowhere near as good as Edgar Wright's other films.
Yeah, I would say maybe a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, so more than mid.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a bad film. It's just by his standards, it just fell really short. And like I said, it was the characters that I wouldn't watch it again. Let's put it that way. So maybe a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, weirdly enough, actually, I enjoyed it. I don't think I'd rush back to watch it again.
Yeah. And for you, someone who loves horror and thriller, and that's your go-to like comfort film to put on, that's perhaps saying something as well.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, that's a good point. But I think that is the thing with Edgar Wright, is all of his films' replayability is huge.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen Edgar Wright's films 1,000 times.
That's it.
But then again, I suppose a horror thriller of this caliber, of this type, isn't normally a go-back to type watch anyway.
Absolutely.
It was never going to be 7. Or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But yeah, okay, interesting. So it's on Now TV or Sky. So if you get the opportunity, give it a watch. Let us know what you think. So seeing as we're on Edgar Wright, we may as well talk Edgar Wright.
Let's talk Edgar Wright.
And so immediately after that, I watched Baby Driver.
Oh, one of my favourite films of all time.
Which we have mentioned quite a few times. We'll not delve too deep into it. We're not going to storyline because people know what it is. But again, the soundtrack perfect. The fucking characters in that film. Everyone is a fucking star-studded cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone is huge in it. Who's your favourite character in that film? If we're getting rid of Baby,
get rid of Baby because Baby is probably my favourite.
Of course he is.
For me, it's probably John Hamm's character.
John Hamm's character,
as fucking it.
He's just like Negan, isn't it? He's got such Negan vibes.
Yeah, but like he starts off, he's actually quite a nice guy. He's the one of the few people that's actually kind of nice to Baby, quite nice, supportive. Yeah. And it's sort of almost played in it because like Jamie Foxx's character is and John Bernthal character, they're very like alpha male dominant, like in your face, blah blah blah,
hates
and like
Baby.
Yeah, and it's very loud, doesn't shut up. Even like confronting John Hamm's character, his missus is there. She's like, "Oh, he'll fuck you up," and he's like, and you're like, "Oh, like he can't. He's too much of a pretty boy to be." Yeah. But he does turn out to be. He's actually the alpha.
Oh, big time.
He's just not loud and in your face and shouting, but he's the one you would not fuck with, and I love that about him. How he's got this fucking dark side. It's just such a cool film. So stylish. Every character is incredible. The fact that each scene is written to the music.
Yeah.
I'm someone that's massive. We've spoken about this, how much we both love our music. So to have a film totally driven by the music and be written alongside the music is just genius.
Oh God, absolutely.
Like the final showdown, like with the guns where they're firing it in time to like the beats and stuff. It's like it could have ended up being a really gimmicky film, but it's not.
No.
Like I remember when the trailer for this came out, and that's back when I was using Twitter, and loads of stars were like retweeting. I can remember like Ryan Reynolds retweeted the trailer, and he was like, "Fucking hell, this blew my socks off." Like watching the trailer, it's that like incredible. And it's one of them again. I don't think that many people have actually seen it. Like I speak, it's not one like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. Everyone's seen them. Yeah. Where it's not one of them where I don't know anyone that's seen it and gone, "That wasn't great." It's just a brilliant film. I love a heist film anyway. Like, that's quite a cool genre. But this was different because of the music and every character. Sensational.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Because I really like. So there's two scenes in particular with John Hamm that I love. So there's the scene where you realise that actually he's got a soft spot for Baby. And he goes over and is like, oh, what are you listening to? Queen, Brighton Rock, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So he goes and listens to it with him and they're just jamming out. But then the scene at the end where he's trying to kill Baby and he listens to his headphones and he's listening to like some love song because he's going to go see his girlfriend. And it just the same scene, but the contrast completely flipped on its head. Like, oh God, I love it. And the worst thing is, out of every amazing song in this film, you go away from that film singing B-A-B-Y, baby.
Yeah, because of Lily James's character.
She just sings it the whole way through. That's what sticks in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking film! Man.
Oh, it's so good. I've watched it so many times, and I'll go with this as one of them that I've not watched it to death. Like, I might have a break for 6 months or whatever, and then I'll put it on, and I'm like, oh my God, I'll fall in love with it all over again, and I'll put it on 2, 3, 4, 5 more times, you know. And then I'll just go through I'll listen to the soundtrack loads again. I've got that on vinyl, but I've even got they did like a remix version of the soundtrack and a couple of different tracks. So it's like, I can't remember, it's called like Baby Driver 2 or something like that. And I've even got that on vinyl, which is really cool. It's got some sound bites from the film.
Oh, that's banging.
So that's really cool. It's nowhere near as good as the first, but it's just quirky when you just want to immerse yourself in that world. Oh, I love it. I love it. One of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Like, it will never get old, will it?
No.
And again, that's one of those films, no matter what you're feeling, you can bang it on.
Oh,
because the music can make you feel better.
Yeah.
There's a really weird love story when you think about it, of just a guy and a girl who fall in love after meeting in a coffee shop, but this dude is a fucking hardened criminal.
Yeah. But he's just literally baby, because he's got baby face, you know, he's just like a kid.
He is literally just baby face, but he was hijacking. The reason he's in this mess is because he hijacked a fucking car full of coke.
Yeah.
He's been hijacked, at 13 years old, he's been doing all this shit. He's robbing banks left, right, centre. This kid is not a good guy.
No.
And we forget that because we love him so much.
But it's because he's not a violent guy, is it?
That's all it is.
It's because he doesn't want to hurt people. But in so many ways, I feel like I love Baby and I relate to Baby in a lot of ways in terms of music, because his life is just driven by music. He has music for every mood he's feeling. Every moment in his life has to fit with music. And I sometimes feel like that. I'm always playing music, all the time. If I'm not watching film or TV, I've got music on. If I'm cooking, I've got music on. If I'm driving, I've got music on. If I'm sat at work, I've got music on. If I'm in the shower, I've got music on. I literally, for every emotion or different mood I'm feeling, I've got music to represent that, exactly like Baby. So I just feel like I just love that in that same way. He's just got all these songs for all these different times of his life. And I love it. It's so cool. It's such a cool film.
Yeah, definitely. So from there, I went to sleep.
Okay.
I woke up.
Go on.
And I immediately put on Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Nice.
As soon as I woke up, because I forgot that's an Edgar Wright film.
I know. I always forget about this. And this is probably the one, other than Last Night in Soho, the one I've seen the least. I think I've only seen it once, maybe twice. And yeah, so it's hard for me to comment on this one. I did really enjoy it, and it's one I really, really need to go back and rewatch because people love it. It is like a cult classic, isn't it?
Yeah, so my friend Sam, I met up with him, we got the kids together, took them soft play. We were sat chatting. I said, the reason I'm a few minutes late is I was just finishing watching Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And it was like my favourite film of all time.
Yeah.
His favourite film of all time. And you know what? I get it and I don't get it. I love it. But then I've seen a lot of films. Do you know what I mean? It is so stylish.
Oh, it is.
So fucking stylish. And again, I'm not the biggest Michael Cera fan.
No, I think
he's a bit annoying.
I think that's what puts me off with this film, why I will never love it, because, he just doesn't do it for me.
But what Edgar Wright fucking does so well is, we just mentioned this in Last Night in Soho, so he's got this timid introvert character and he cast, Thomasin McKenzie. He does that with Michael Cera. This character he's got is supposed to be the biggest fucking nerdy, awkward, weird guy who's got a little bit too much confidence.
Yeah.
You can't get any better than Michael Cera.
Yeah.
That's who he is. He thinks he's a bit of a stallion, but he is just a bit of fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? This is the second time I've seen this film. I watched it years ago, and I remember enjoying it. Like, this was before, like, Marvel films are what Marvel films are now.
When did it come out? Like 2010 or something, was it?
Yeah, I'll Google that while we're talking. But so it had that, comic book twist, video game probably more than that.
It feels like a video game / comic book feel, doesn't it? The whole film has got that vibe.
Oh yeah, 2010. Again, great cast. Completely forgot that fucking Chris Evans is in it.
Yeah,
he plays such a dickhead. I love it.
He plays dickhead so well, doesn't he?
But it's just the weird. So this was obviously a graphic novel beforehand.
Yes,
I've never read the graphic novel. I'm going to. I'm going to try and get hold of it just because it is that good. I'd love to see the graphic novel version. But it's just such a fucking weird concept. Such a weird concept. He fancies this girl who, this pink-haired, crazy, fucking out there girl, falls for it immediately, and she just has 7 crazy exes that he has to defeat in a Street Fighter type vibe. Each one has a different, like, superpower, so to speak.
Yeah.
My God, the vegan scene is possibly the funniest scene.
Oh, I can't really remember it. No.
So Michael Cera's character, his crazy ex, she left him because she got famous in this band, so she's a famous singer. I can't remember the fucking characters' names, but the pink-haired girl, her crazy ex, is the bassist for his band.
Yeah.
They end up in this crazy fucking fight. He beats the shit out of Michael Cera's character, and it turns out because he has vegan powers. Because he's vegan, he has all these special powers that is going to destroy Michael Cera. And they have this really weird conversation about how he's got vegan powers and how he went to vegan camp and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cera passes him a coffee that's got milk in it. And then the vegan police come and take his vegan powers away from him. And I can't remember for the life of me. I remember when they come in, I was like, one of the coppers, I was like, oh my God, but yeah, these vegan police just come running in. He's like, don't I get 3 strikes? And I'm like, yeah, what about that time you ate a full rack of ribs? And he's like, and he just goes, ribs aren't vegan? It's just so fucking funny. Yeah, honestly, you have to rewatch this film.
Yeah, I really do. I really, really do. Like I said, it's one that I've not seen enough. I didn't see it when it was out. I only went to it, I got drawn to it because it's an Edgar Wright film. That's the whole reason I went out and saw it, because just by looking at it and the trailers and stuff, it didn't have that immediate hook for me. Probably because of Michael Cera. To be honest.
That's it. So they're called the Elite Task Force, the vegan police, and it's Thomas Jane, played the Punisher.
I love Thomas Jane. I
love him so
Thomas
much.
Jane.
So he just pulls in and their guns are their fingers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, it's Thomas Jane.
I fucking love Thomas Jane. One of my favourite actors. We should do a Thomas Jane episode.
Oh God, yes.
Deep Blue Sea is where it's at.
Mate, we're doing Thomas. Ain't many people doing Thomas Jane episodes.
No
let me
way.
tell you.
It is quality. But yeah.
Yeah, so go. I'm going to give you this one as I think you should go away and
rewatch it. I need to. Yeah, I really do.
It is so much fun. I just really, really, really enjoyed everything about it. I just forgot how stylish it is. I really like, obviously, again, the music. It's all very grunge.
Yeah.
In this, again, this is just what I fucking love about Edgar Wright. Every song's music is just completely different.
Yeah, it is.
This grungy as fuck. You got Baby Driver. Then you're looking at Last Night in Soho, which is all 60s, Cilla Black and shit like that. It's like, oh my God, I want to see his playlist so bad.
Well, he publishes them every year.
Does he actually?
Yeah, because I follow him on Instagram and Twitter and everything. So he always creates a playlist or shares his songs, or like he'll always show pictures of like the films he's watched each month as well. So he'll have stacks of DVDs. He's like, right, this is this month's watch that I've watched, and the variety is insane. You're going from like modern classics to like your old school 1930s or 60s British, or and everything anywhere in between, you know, world cinema, and it's just incredible. Like, you can't keep up with it. I'm a big film buff, and I'm just amateur compared to Edgar Wright. He is pro. Obviously, he's a professional director, but you know what I mean. Like, even in his watching, because he just absorbs film and music, and he's what I aspire to be, because that's what we do. You know, I love my music, I love my film, I love my TV. I'm always taking on more and trying new things, because a lot of that will come from people like Edgar Wright who I'm a big fan of. So, you know, when he posts it, it's like, oh my God, I've watched like 2 of those films that you just shared out of 50. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Fact, while we're talking about this, then let's give our boy a shout out. So obviously Ryan brought to the table that he does 52 new films every year.
Or tries to,
anyway. Lost the last couple of years. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll do it together this year. I'm on 25, and you're roughly the same-ish.
I got up to 27 today.
Oh, 26, because I forgot to put Mario on it.
Nice.
26. So we're like, we're doing all right.
We're doing pretty well, to be fair. By normal standards, that's pretty good, because you think it's supposed to be 1 a week, and what, we're early April. So really, we should be on around less than 20 by this stage. So we're well ahead of the game.
And then our boy Goss.
He is something else.
He has done 52 already. This dude, I don't know how he has the time.
I don't know. He always says it because he doesn't sleep. I think he struggles to sleep. So he just stays up at night and just watches film after film, which is incredible.
He's got a couple of young kids running around, and he's like a really good active dad.
Oh yeah.
He's got a busy ass job as well. He's quite high up in his job. He travels a lot with his work. He teaches fucking martial arts.
Yeah. So he's got so much going on.
Dude, I was like,
Goss, how do you do it?
How do you do
honestly,
it? He's busier than you.
Oh, yeah.
And he's watched 50. He's probably more than that now as well.
Oh, he'd probably be on over 60 by now.
Oh, God, easy.
It's so impressive. What was his 52nd film?
I can't remember. It was one that we mentioned.
He wanted to make it like a significant one, I think.
I
can't remember.
Find the chat. Yeah, it was something that we spoke about recently. I can't remember what we'd done. He was like, I'm going to watch that. It's going to be my 52nd film. I thought you were joking. I'm not going to lie to you. When he said it, I was like, fuck off, have you seen that many films?
Was it Bullet Train?
It was Bullet Train.
Bullet Train,
yeah. Bless him. Well played, Goss. That is insane. Any of you guys that have decided to go along with Ryan's 52 films in a year, let us know how you're doing.
Quite a few people have said to me that they're doing it this year, which is quite nice, because I've done it for a few years. It was just something I randomly came up with. I think I first did it in 2018. A few years where I missed it, and then... So it's really, really nice now that people are coming up to it. Yeah.
And that's why you have all them restraining orders.
Yeah. It's not normally it's different rubbing, isn't it?
Anyway, is there any other Edgar Wright films to chat about before we go on to the trilogy?
I'm struggling to think what other films he's directed.
I don't think there's anything else massive that I can remember of. Obviously, we've got Spaced. Loved Spaced.
Spaced is one of my favourite shows of all time.
I've not watched it in years. I've got him on DVD in the garage.
Yeah.
I would like to go back and rewatch it.
So for those of you who have not seen Spaced, and anyone that loves the Cornetto trilogy should go watch Spaced. It was a TV show that came out late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 seasons, so there's only like 14 episodes, I think, 7 in each season. And it is just about 2 people that meet up randomly in like a coffee shop or something, because they're both homeless. They both decide to get a flat share together, and it's just their antics living in a flat share.
Just being massive stoners.
Just being like stoners and nerds, and it is just littered with pop culture references. So when they're going around the flat share, it's all a bit creepy because it's all dark, and they're being shown around, and they open a cupboard and there's like 2 twins there, and they're like, just like The Shining. It's we finished cleaning, and like, oh, did it take you long? It took us forever and ever. And they're like losing their shit. So obviously just like a massive rip-off of The Shining. But each episode is filled with references like that, where they'll just play out little random scenes from other films. Simon Pegg's in it, Nick Frost's in it. All the other characters make cameos throughout the rest of his like films, especially the Cornetto trilogy. It is genius. It's comic genius.
It really is.
I've watched it more times than I can count. I know them word for word, those episodes.
Oh, God, yeah. And if you've never seen Spaced, but you're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I remember watching, because I never watched an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine until a couple of years ago.
Right.
And I binged watched every episode.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. But that gave me massive Space vibes, not because, obviously, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's cops, but because pop culture references, film references, after film reference, reference, constant. And I remember watching it being like, this is just like a modern American Space.
Yeah.
And I love that about I love that style of comedy.
Yeah. I've never thought about that, actually. Yeah, it does work like that. Space is so good.
Just everyone plays a character so well, don't they?
I could happily watch that again now. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
Definitely, that would be my recommendation for people. Check it out.
Oh, yeah, and again...
And they're only like 20-minute episodes, so you can watch the entire thing, both series, in a few hours.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that over a couple of nights, couldn't you?
Easy.
And it is well worth it. So from that onto the Cornetto trilogy then.
The Cornetto trilogy.
So the Cornetto trilogy, for those of you that don't know, you heathens that don't know what the Cornetto trilogy
if you don't know,
are...
Why listen to this podcast?
If you don't know that, you've no idea what we're talking about.
No, ever.
So the Cornetto trilogy started with Shaun of the Dead, followed up by Hot Fuzz, and ending with At World's End.
Yes.
Now, World's End, I didn't watch that for years because I wasn't that interested. Because I remember after Hot Fuzz coming out, the whole talk about the Cornetto trilogy and the third one being a sci-fi.
And it was sort of a big deal then, wasn't it? Like, because I want to say Shaun of the Dead came out 2004.
You know what? You're on it tonight with dates.
I'm going to say 2004 and then Hot Fuzz 2007. I haven't researched this. This is just going off of memory. But they were pretty close together, I remember.
2004, Hot Fuzz 2007.
There you go.
You're on it with dates.
So I was like, a teenager, and everyone was going mental for Shaun of the Dead, and everyone watched it to death. And then I remember when Hot Fuzz came out, and me and Kyle went to see it at the cinema, and it was packed, the cinema. And I can remember one scene in particular. It was where they go to the pub and they get drunk, and they've got the little guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, the rich guy. And then it's like, I think someone needs to go home because he's just like pissing up against the bandit machine.
Yeah.
So they carry him home, and he's like, we did get a little drunk, get it? Because he's little and he's drunk. And me and Kyle burst out laughing, like proper belly laughing. No one else in the cinema laughed, which just made it funnier. We're like, why is no one laughing? That's fucking hilarious. It was so good. But everyone, like, I was friends with that I knew at that around that age, binged watched these two films to death.
Yeah.
Everyone that, like, not everyone because I'm generalizing, but all my friends, everyone on DVD, they're always on ITV.
Yeah.
So many people I know these films word for word. And then there was a big gap then because those two became cult classics instantly, especially British classics.
Well, I was about to say, by far, best of British.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they was on all the time.
Yeah. Oh, they're absolutely peak of what British, because they are British films.
Oh, big time.
And I know they are worldwide success, especially Shaun of the Dead, because people go mad for zombie films, regardless of what country of origin. But all those Britishness is in there. Anyway, before I speak about that, there was so much hype then, for the World's End, for the last one. And I think that... Can I go 3 for 3? I don't know when this one came out. I want to say 2012 or 13. So it was a big gap. So like 6 years. It's a long time when the first two were so iconic. So I feel like everyone went into the third one with such high expectations, and most people were a bit disappointed. And I think most people consider the third one the weakest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think so. This is where I struggle. Okay, so I watched at World's End on the previous podcast.
Yeah,
we did a Cornetto trilogy episode, and the first time I'd seen it, so I watched all three. First time I'd seen it, and I put it as my favourite.
Really?
I honestly, because I think I went in there with such low expectations because everyone said it was the weakest. I fucking loved it.
Mm.
And so I watched them in order.
Yeah.
And yes, I love Shaun of the Dead. And again, I think Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz for me is because I've overwatched them.
Yeah.
They're not bad still. I still fucking love them and I get excited every time they're on. Because this was new to me. World of the End was new. I'd not seen it before. I was like, shit, this is actually right now, at this second, this is my... And they change all the time, don't they? This is my favourite right now.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
new, it's funny, it's just the same humour and everything I wanted. The same people in different clothes, acting slightly different, but still everything I need from an Edgar Wright film.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Didn't get the opportunity to rewatch it again before tonight.
Right, yeah.
Which makes me sad because it's the only time I've seen it.
Okay.
And I remember loving it. Josh, bless him, he put it on. I watched Hot Fuzz yesterday. Josh's film choices are very odd. If he's got the telly, I tend to not sit in the same room as him.
Right, okay.
And he walked in from shopping, he was taking his shoes off, he looked up, I'm not kidding you, half a second, and went, oh, Hot Fuzz. Like, that's how iconic this film is.
Yeah.
I went upstairs for a shower, I was knackered, so I laid on the bed for half hour, and I could hear him watching it downstairs, but I was so tired, I needed that half hour, 45 minutes sort of laying down nap. So I didn't watch it, but yeah.
See, it's so hard. It's like I don't know. I imagine picking your favorite child with these three. Shaun of the Dead is incredible. Like the zombie film, I love zombie films anyway. I love that horror. So the fact that it's a comedy, but it still has all the zombie. It's still quite tense. You know, it's ridiculous. It's silly, but it's not like slapstick.
Yeah.
I love that I love the style of these films, the style and the comedy. I think Hot Fuzz is probably the funniest. I think the one-liners in it, I'll rewatch that today. The one-liners in it, the play on all the action films, the action tropes, quiet. And it's the most British, I think, Hot Fuzz. It's literally like them going to the pubs and kicking out all the youngsters who's walking home with a cone on his head.
Well, it's just set in a tiny little British village,
and
isn't it?
It's so relatable. And having been brought up, in the countryside and going to these local pubs and walking back and being daft with your mates and
everybody knowing everybody.
Everyone knows everyone, and everyone's got it's just Trigger, not Trigger, whatever the guy's called. He's like the local bloody. It's just the creepy old man. Those vibes. It's so clever. It's so funny. Every mum and his. There's more guns in the country. It's like every farmer and his mum's packing around here. It's like everyone's packing around here. Like who? Farmers. Who else? Farmers' mums. And at the end, it's the farmer and his mum shooting at him with a rifle or shotguns. He's stupid like that.
He's so good for them.
So clever.
For them comeback jokes. Because that one's brilliant. And when he's trying to teach Danny and he's like, just look around, there's shit going on. And the old bloke with the big jacket, he's like, what's he got going on underneath that jacket?
Yeah.
And then at the end, it turns out he's fucking holding loads of guns under it.
Yeah, it's just, it's so clever. There's so many one-liners. It's just joke after joke after joke. But they're not sometimes they're not in your face. You need to think about them afterwards. It's not until you realise. It's just everything about it. I could talk Hot Fuzz all day. The shots of the two Andys, though, the detectives, maybe the two best characters, where they're staring at him, and then they go off screen, and then what's he called? The actor, Paddy Considine. He just comes back on, doesn't he, and looks at him again. It's so clever. I think Hot Fuzz is probably the best film.
Yeah.
The World's End's my favourite.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
The World's End's my favourite. Again, not probably the not popular choice, but I love The World's End. It's the whole premise of it. Even before it turns into a sci-fi film, I think it's fantastic.
It's a great starting premise, isn't it?
The idea, it's so relatable to me and us and as friendships. It's like old friends meeting up to try and relive their youth and going on a massive pub crawl and getting pissed. It's so and
it's not even that massive either, is it? The Golden Mile or whatever.
It's like 12 pubs,
12
12 pubs, 12 pints.
Easy, we knock that back fucking easy.
I know,
on
but
a night.
if you do it as a proper pub crawl, I do think it's hard. It's really hard. I've done a few different ones. There's some in Chesterfield. We've done one before. My uni mates, we all met up to do the Otley Run in Leeds, and they are hard when you're having a full pint and moving on to the next pub. and like these old mates, and trying to relive their youth and be nostalgic. And Gary King, he's stuck in the past. All his friends have moved on; they've got different lives, but he's trying to come back and relive it. And it's a pure nostalgia trip. And for me, I relate to that so much because I'm someone that can be sometimes a bit over nostalgic. But we try and do this. How many times we met up to have a big piss up, and it's like, oh, try and do this, and you try and relive these great nights.
Oh yeah.
But it's the ones that you don't like. Everyone there, apart from Gary, they're not up for it, are they? They're like, oh yeah, we'll try and get into it. But they end up having like
got work in the morning. Whatever.
Yeah, they end up having a good time, and then it goes weird. It just becomes like the most memorable night of their lives, and then most of them get bloody killed off or whatever because it's like it turns into a weird sci-fi film. But I just love that, and like the idea. It's like. Shit's going down. It's going fucking mental. Robots have taken over. It's like, oh, what are we going to do? We're going to finish a pub crawl. We're going to get to the world's end. And like, fuck it, let's just do it. And one by one, they get picked off or whatever. And I love that. Like, again, all those British isms that you get, like walking into your local pub and pouring your pint and you just get more and more pissed. It's hilarious. It's such... I just love it. I love it. What as well we need to do next time we go out like on a drinking session, or if we should do a pub crawl, we should watch this beforehand because nothing gets you more pumped up for going on the piss than watching this film. Honestly,
we'll watch it before we do the train one.
Yeah, perfect. The train pub crawl through the Peak District,
amazing.
So it's my favourite, which is not a popular choice, but it's for all those reasons that I absolutely love it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I love about the trilogy as well. I mean, obviously they all have a lot in common, but they're all centered around a pub, a British pub.
Yeah.
I mean, Hot Fuzz not as much, but it's still, they go there every night.
Yeah,
it starts there, it sort of ends there.
Exactly.
It ends in the model village.
Yeah.
Be a big man in a little town. Fuck off to the model village.
There's so many jokes in Hot Fuzz. Like the one that I was crying with. Like, I've watched Hot Fuzz so many times, but I still laugh. And it's like, what do you want us to ring everyone in the phone book? We'll start with Aaron A. Aronson.
I still think the best joke in it is where they go and interview the farmer. So they take the copper with him to translate.
Yeah.
And then they need Danny to translate him.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking
and then
funny.
they keep doing it. And by the end of it, Danny will say something before he's translated off it.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking clever.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
And then I suppose Shaun of the Dead is probably the most famous out of all three. So if you're looking saying Hot Fuzz is the best, World's End favourite, Shaun of the Dead is the fan favourite. It's
probably the most iconic, especially outside of Britain.
Oh, big time. Which is weird because when you think American humour is very different to British humour. British humour is very dry.
And
obviously
a bit more witty. And I think these films, they're all witty. They're witty jokes. That's what I mean. You don't. Even as Brits, we don't get them straight away. Sometimes you have to have a think. It's like, oh, it's like it's not slapstick. It's not in your face. It's not over the top silliness.
Oh God, absolutely.
They are ridiculous, but they're not silly.
Yeah. And the whole idea of getting out of a zombie apocalypse by going for a pint at the Winchester and waiting for the whole thing to blow over is the most British thing to do.
Oh, yeah. And it's just so quotable as well. I think we literally say this on Call of Duty all the time. It's like, we'll find a building and we'll wait for the whole thing to blow over. Like
literally every time.
Everyone always quotes these films, especially Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. Again, in that possibly my favourite, probably one of my favourite scenes out of the whole trilogy is when they're throwing records at the zombie in the back garden and they get to bat dance and he's like, no.
Yeah. It's just so good. There's a girl in the garden.
You got red on you.
You got red. I just love it. Like, there's little things as well. Like you pick up more and more when you watch it. It's like, even little things like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg's the serious character and Nick Frost is the idiot.
Yes.
And then they flip that for the third film. Gary King, Simon Pegg's the idiot, and Nick Frost is the serious one. Mm-hmm. Just little things like that. I love the way they play it. And they're incredible. I know I said this about Baby Driver as well, but these three, the trilogy, are always on my list of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
They are just... I genuinely have watched those films like finished Hot Fuzz and just press play again.
Really?
On my old, I think the old DVD that I had, it had that feature where it go back to the menu, and then if you didn't do anything, it just played after like 2 minutes. It just it just started again. So I just let it run again, and like it's just, and you end up still being hooked into it.
Oh God, absolutely.
They're just fantastic, so good. And I love as well. Yeah, they're all different tropes, like playing on different tropes. So the first one's all taking the piss out of horror. Second one, action. Third one, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Genius.
Especially
genius.
in that second one as well. I mean, obviously they're all blatant in your face, but I just love Nick Frost talking about all the action, point blank. Bad Boys 2. That sort of, I fucking love it. It's that scene when he's in Summerfield at the beginning, he's chasing that copper and he's just looking, he's like, Super Cop 3. Kung Fu Badass 9.
Oh,
nothing more British than a Summerfield in a film as well.
I know.
Oh God! And this is how you know that Hot Fuzz is the best one. That's when you go back to.
Yeah,
that's when you're talking about funny moments.
That's probably the most quotable one. I think it's Hot Fuzz. Is every scene is quotable. Yarp,
yarp,
narp,
narp,
narp. And so the casts are insane as well. Like Hot Fuzz, like the cameos. Some of the ones that people don't even realize. Like the shot of Santa Claus at the start stabbing the knife through Nicholas Angel. That's Peter Jackson.
Is it?
The director of Lord of the Rings, wow. Like massive Oscar-winning one of the most successful directors of all time.
I didn't know
it's
that.
just Santa. Janine, who's his girlfriend that he leaves at the start, you never see her face. She's just in like the biohazard suit because she's the crime scene investigator. Kate Blanchett.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's Kate Blanchett. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's not until like people point these out and stuff. You rewatch it and you definitely know. Today, I was like, I've known that for years and years. I rewatched it. I was like, it's definitely her. You can tell by her voice, her eyes.
Now you've said it, I can see it.
Yeah.
She's got a very distinctive face anyway,
yeah,
hasn't she?
But she's got the mask on, so you can see in her eyes. And it's like, Jim Broadbent is always quality in every film. Paddy Considine's great in this one, in the second one, in the third one as well. Bill Bailey, who plays Skinner? What's he called?
I can never remember that guy's name.
Timothy Dalton, isn't it?
Is it Timothy Dalton?
Yeah, because he was James Bond, wasn't he? Just massive, massive actors and actresses, and they're all iconic characters. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Murder, murder, murder. Change the fucking record.
It's mad, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, Edgar Wright not done that many films.
No, he really hasn't.
We've spoke about 6 films.
Yeah.
And Spaced.
Yeah.
And he has done more. He's done a lot of early 90s stuff, when he was sort of breaking through.
Even then I don't think he's done that.
It was
many.
nothing massive. There's nothing I'd heard of.
No. He was the original director for Ant-Man.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and I think he did quite a bit, but then he left it due to creative differences.
Oh, okay. So they didn't want that much music in it.
Probably. I think he wanted to make it a little bit more standalone, whereas they wanted it to be obviously majorly tied to the MCU.
Absolutely. You can't get away from that.
Oh, yeah,
which is a shame because we'll never get Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
No, which would have been quality in its own right. So
yeah. So I've not heard or seen anything upcoming from Edgar Wright.
No, I haven't. No, like I said, I do follow him, but he's normally plays his cards quite close to his chest with projects he's got ongoing.
Yeah. Because I saw it was Nick Frost's birthday the other day, and both him and Simon Pegg were like posting loads of shit about Nick Frost, which I was like, oh, we're about to do an episode on you.
Yeah, they always still do a lot together, obviously. The best mates in real life. So Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are best mates, and Simon Pegg got Nick Frost the job in Spaced, who wasn't a professional actor, it was just his mate. Just plays his mate in Spaced. And then that, now look.
Yeah.
Incredible, really.
Oh, so that, my friend, is Edgar Wright.
I could talk all day.
And that's the problem.
I could literally just we should have a watch party where we just watch them, have a few beers, and just quote the films.
Should we do that on the 28th instead of streaming?
Yeah.
We'll just do all the Edgar Wright films and then just talk about them afterwards.
Yeah, that was so good.
Right. Anything else about Edgar Wright before we?
I think I'll have to cut it there because otherwise I just keep throwing random Hot Fuzz quotes out.
Okay, so we have a winner.
Okay,
We have a winner for the Eliminator. Last minute, couple of votes.
Yeah. Go on.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok wins.
Thor Ragnarok wins by 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Feels tough to get rid of Endgame, doesn't it?
I know. Chunk's coming around tomorrow to help us fix some technical issues we're having with our new
he's going to
gear.
be fuming.
I'm not going to tell him.
No.
I'll wait till he's fixed everything. And then I'm like, oh, he's also doing all the stuff for the streaming as well, because it's quite a professional setup he sorted out for me.
Yeah.
So he'll just change it so like there's a massive cock in the background or something. I'm like, you got rid of my votes, you wanker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. So for Ragnarok is through to the next round.
Who have we got in the next round then?
Next round is Infinity War
Yep.
versus Iron Man.
Ooh. Tough one.
Very tough one again, because I think people look at it and go, well, Infinity War will beat Iron Man.
Yeah.
But again, if we fucking didn't tell you enough to go back and rewatch Iron Man when we did this the first time, go back and rewatch Iron Man.
Well, you think in this round, everyone was saying start with, it's never going to work because Avengers are always going to win and they'll always be the final. We've just lost, not through intentional, that's not the reason at all. We've talked through our reasons, but we've just lost Endgame and the first Avengers in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. Madness.
Mad, yeah.
And let's be honest, Endgame went by and that's bollock, mate.
Yeah.
But again, we have differences. This is why I leave it down to you, lovely people.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like that was just. But again, because the post hasn't been out that long, by tomorrow it could have been it could have flipped back to Endgame, but it would be too late.
It would be too late. My fault. Sorry.
We'll just take the post down now.
Yeah, fucking quick delete. Right, so that's everything that we have time for. Please remember, if I haven't already mentioned it, probably have, 28th live stream. Please get involved. Put it in your calendars. I'll be starting at 2 p.m. on that Friday and going straight through till 2 p.m. on the Saturday. Me and Ryan will be doing lots of gaming together. We've got lots of ideas to play. A lot of the other people that have either been on the show or we've mentioned 1,000 times will be gaming with us. If you want to game with us, please let us know. And please, 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 if you can donate a couple of pounds, it's going to a very worthy charity. We will have posts and everything put up. I did share the video the other day. Did you watch that?
Yeah. I saw bits of it. Get my words out. I watched it when you first sent it through.
We were bad at Rocket League.
We'll be that standard now, though.
I don't know. I had a game the other night with Jack Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
At least I can, do better flips and a little bit of flying now.
I'll be worse than I was then.
Oh, God, yeah. We'll get a couple of gamers beforehand.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
So, yeah, please. I know, obviously, it is hard. Cost of living crisis, £1, £2, whatever you can give is all helpful towards such a worthy cause. And, it's the reason why I did it on payday.
Yeah.
Because people don't mind paying on payday. A couple of quid today. So, everybody, thank you so much for listening. As always, please, please, please share. Ryan, last words.
Yarp.
Peace.